Hi, Gary.
Hello.
Gary Ward, who is, of course, the founder of WrestleCarnival.
Correct. Yes. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, not a problem. So, am I right in thinking WrestleGate was a thing that you were a part of as well?
Yes, very much so. I created WrestleGate. I found it 2 years and a couple of weeks ago. Just couple 2 year anniversary has just come up. So yeah, I created and founded that in 2018 now. So yeah, it's fun times. First promotion I had, and then now I'm on to WrestleCarnival, which I'm very excited about doing.
Yeah, so WrestleCarnival, from the title, it sounds already very different to other wrestling promotions. It sounds like there's going to be a lot of entertainment aspect to it, which wrestling tries to be that way. But this one sounds quite very focused on the entertainment side. Would that be safe to say?
Yeah, you've got it in one. Yeah, I don't think you can really call something a carnival without, and then have it as just, a technical wizardry show, to be fair. We're looking to make it as very dominant on storylines, so we're all working on storylines at the moment. We're making sure that we support, everybody here in the UK, so I want to use as many British or UK people as possible, UK based. And then we're just going to do some crazy things. So we've got some nice things lined up for whenever we can start. It's not going to be uncommon to see some crazy, wacky things going on at the shows. So I just wanted to make it fun. I did a very serious type promotion previously, and where it was very much like a real sport aspect. And while I love that, and that is kind of my bread and butter, it's nice to open up your mind a little bit more to give other aspects of wrestling. We can do comedy, we can do hardcore, we can do technical base, which our Ringmasters Challenge will be based around mainly. And we can do, fun, over-the-top silliness, which I think everybody that has an open mind in wrestling will get behind. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting going whenever that may be. I'm afraid I can't really answer those questions.
Yeah, it's very difficult at this time, isn't it? When you come up with this idea, had everything planned, and then we can't have the show.
Yeah. I mean, it was planned October of last year. It was is when it all came together, and then we were going to, I think January 1st was going to be our sort of launch, sort of hello, we are Carnival. I had some hype videos all made. We delayed that. We had some problem with one of the venues. It wasn't confirmed, so I didn't want to just sort of go out straight away and without having everything set in stone. And then because the first show would have been March the 8th, I had a whole card booked. All the talent was ready to go. Venue was booked. And then obviously Corona looked like it was coming pretty hard, and some people that I knew were saying, this is going to shut us down. And then so I didn't launch WrestleCarnival it to the public. So then when I left WrestleGate, I knew that people were going to ask me what I'm going to be doing, if I'm going to still be in wrestling. So that's why I decided to sort of say, no, we are launching. This is who we are. This is what I'm doing. So launching in a pandemic isn't ideal, but it was ready, and it was basically going to be, the first show would have been March the 8th, which is a shame because I'd love to have done it, but unfortunately, I don't know when our first show is going to be now. It's worrying, to be honest, but health and safety for fans, staff, crew, everybody is, top priority, really.
Sure. Have you been in contact with the talent that you want to use? Or have you still got some people that you're looking to bring in?
No, so the main people that we're looking to use in terms of storyline wise have been given all of our dates for next year. So I was looking to start in January, and then we would end in November with our sort of big WrestleMania type show. That would be our end of year sort of show where sort of, potentially some storylines may end or some start or new things. But yeah, the main people have been booked throughout that. There is a couple of odd sort of matches here and there throughout the the year that we just need to make sure. And then obviously some people that we are working with, they may be contracted to other promotions or have agreements in with other promotions that they take priority, which is fine. So it's the case that we just have to play that by ear. But yeah, I mean, everything's ready. I don't know how much you've seen on our social media in the last few days, but like I said yesterday in a statement, if Boris and the government said I could run tomorrow, I can run. I'm ready. Everything is in place to go. Money's there. Talent's ready. Venues are booked. That's it. So it's just running with fans. Do I do fans or don't I do fans? So I'm not sure on where I go with that at the moment. That's the next sort of big question I'm having with myself. But yeah, everything's ready to go in terms of talent wise.
Oh, that's brilliant. Yeah. We interview wrestlers and ask about, their life as a wrestler, what's life like as a promoter? How, is it, it must be challenging, I guess, trying to put these things together. But just, what's life like as a promoter, really?
I don't know what it's like as a wrestler, so I can't really sort of say, it's similar to this because I've never ever done anything in the ring. So if any wrestler, however long you've been in the ring, you've done more than me. I've taken one bump in a ring, and that's Joseph Connors knocking me out as a second referee. I had to do a run-in. He asked me to do a run-in for him, and I was like, yeah, cool. He said he was going to knock me out, and he said, which he actually, he hit me. Not fully, but it was great, and I did one bump, so that's the most I've ever done. But in terms of being a promoter, I mean, it is challenging. The biggest challenge you have, to be completely honest, is when you want to plan things, especially on a grassroots level, which I kind of class what I am is grassroots sort of football, I guess, in terms of, you look at like the Premier League or whatever, which would perhaps be like an NXT UK. It's quite difficult to be able to plan things for longevity purposes with certain people, because at a drop of a hat, they could get snapped up, they could be signed, they could be given better deals, better offers, things like that. And it's quite difficult to ensure that you're going to be able to do these long stories with people. So they're risks you have to take. And then the situation we're in now, speaking out movement, also COVID, I mean, that's completely foreign to us all. So it's learning and making sure that we are completely transparent with everybody, and make sure that we set things in stone, and that if anybody at any time wants to check anything on us as a company, that they can do, and it's there for everybody to see. So there's ever evolving things. It is difficult, but the lead up to it isn't too bad. The show days are okay, and then there's the big, when you watch the show and you see it all happen, that's the best part. When you're watching it and you see the reactions from people or fans, or if you have a surprise, like I've done some surprises on previous shows, seeing people's reactions to those, and that's kind of what makes it really. And wrestling has always been my sort of kind of like a mistress, I guess, is in the best way to put it. Wrestling's always there. It's always been there since I was a cut child. So for me, being part of it is great. And it's challenging. It's fun. It's scary. It's every emotion you can think of, I guess. Every emotion in one.
Are you planning on being an on-screen character?
No, I have no interest in being on the screen. When we launched WrestleGate, my original partner on that, and was quite not pushy, but wanted me to do the documentary that we ended up doing. I'd have preferred to have done this with some talent. I don't really think people need to know me. I'm nothing special. I'm just a wrestling fan like everybody else. But then I kind of put myself into a situation where I was on the first show, and I just felt that was a little bit too much. I thought that it was wrong of me to be doing that. I'm not a performer. I'm not an actor. I'm not a wrestler. I'm not an athlete. I don't look like an athlete. I don't look like anything like this. I can't act. So to me, it's I'd rather shine a light on the talent involved, and help progress them. My goal is to minimum break even on every show. I don't care if I make money. I just want to break even. And I want to make sure that every wrestler or person that is on the screen is given the best that they can to better their careers, to go on to NXT, WWE, Ring of Honor, Impact, whoever. That is, Japan, and that's my goal. That's what I'm doing. That's it. That's why I'm doing this. If I could do this full time too and make some money, great. But for me, no, I don't want to be an on screen. So the only time you ever see me on screen potentially is presenting a belt, presenting a trophy, or if touch wood something ever went wrong and we are like live, then yeah, I'm going to be the first person out there to make sure that the people are okay. But I'll be out there to say hello, thank you for coming, etc. But that won't be seen on TV and stuff.
When it comes to like the promoting side of things and the storyline writing and things, are you involved in everything in that?
Yeah, from top to bottom, everything that the company does is starts and ends with me. I obviously have a team that I give ideas to and listen to, but ultimately, be it that it's my money, it's my promotion, it obviously the back end with the top dog. But if the team says, Gary, that's not going to work, or we really don't think that, then I'm not open to changing. It's not, well, it's my way or the highway. I have these people here because I trust them, and I trust their opinions, and their opinions matter a lot to me. So yeah, I'm involved in everything. In terms of the storylines that we've done so far, they've pretty much all been wrote by me. I've had them written. I actually did them in lockdown, if I'm honest. That's what I did. I wrote the whole lot out, and then actually created another promotion and did it again. But that just I've never put that out. So I created two promotions. I had WrestleCarnival created, did all the storylines for it, and then was like, that was quite fun. I'll do another one tomorrow. So I then did another one. Creatively, that's really fun. I really, really enjoyed doing those things. So it's, me basically doing those. Is
there any sort of promotion that you looked at and was inspired by to do something like WrestleCarnival?
I really liked Wrestle Circus. I know they ended quite poorly. Unfortunately, I think the owner there, he had a breakup. I think some things went wrong with him, unfortunately. But I always found Wrestle Circus, their shows were fantastic. Won't lie and say I didn't take some inspiration from them. I did try and potentially do something with them because they were closing, but fortunately communication just ended. So we took an idea from that. I was watching some stuff during the end of I think it was September of last year. I was watching some stuff and reading up about the history of wrestling, and they were coming in carnivals and circuses, and how they would come into a town, the circus or the carnival would come in, and then a wrestler would challenge a local breadman or a shopkeeper to a fight, and if the person won, he'd get a few cents. And I was like, this has got something. And then I sort of thought WrestleCarnival, and then it kind of evolved from there. In terms of match types, the Ringmasters Challenge is quite taken a few things from Ring of Honor's Pure Division. I've always been quite a fan of Ring of Honor. I actually got a Ring of Honor shirt on at the moment. Ring of Honor is sort of one of my favourite promotions of all time, so I took a lot of inspiration on that. And then some of the other things that we're going to do during the show, during the events, has a little elements of other companies and promotions around. But I just really wanted it to be storyline driven. I didn't really see a lot of other promotions that I'd watch and have crazy things going on, but have stories in it as well. And certainly what I was doing prior didn't have that. We were very much a sports athlete, sports feel, MMA type scenario. So being able to open your creative mind was really the selling point for me in my head about it, to be fair.
When it comes to the Speaking Out movement, of course, I have to mention that, but when it comes to recruiting talents, do you have to do a bit more of an extensive research about their history before you contact them to come onto the show?
Yeah, so we have a team in place now. The agreement in place is that nobody works for us unless they have a DBS check. So everybody will have that minimum. So everybody that's going to work on the shows is going to be contacted to confirm their dates, because I think all the dates now are going to be changing. So unfortunately, that sounds like it's going to be a possibility. But yeah, we won't publicly put people out from now on that is associated with us that hasn't been checked. All the members of the sort of the creative team will have DBS checks. All wrestlers will have that as well. And if you don't present that to us maybe a month, 6 weeks beforehand, you won't be on the show. You'll have your dates rescinded. I won't publicly put the people out to say they haven't done it, because it is your choice whether you do that. I think that everybody in this country needs to be, as terms of a wrestler, photographer, crew, production. If anyone volunteers, if you don't have that, I'd be quite. I'd think twice about doing business with them, and that's not because I think there's something wrong. It's just it costs like 23 quid to do for peace of mind alone. So we certainly won't work with anybody that doesn't have that done. Policies and procedures are all in place on our website and have been for about 3 or 4 months. I did them immediately when I sort of promoted WrestleCarnival. They were the first things that I actually did, and they've been on my website ever since. People are welcome to go and read them. But yeah, it's been a bit of a crazy time, but it needs to happen. It's a lawless industry, unfortunately, and it's just they're the sale point. That it's a huge sale point that happens with wrestling, and a lot of people, rightfully so, don't want to come back. I mean, it might be talent, promoters, fans, and I don't think they should be discouraged from doing that if that's their choice. I was pretty close, if I'm honest. I felt like I don't want to do this, but here we are. I'm still here.
I think it's great that you stuck around as well, because, as I say, this sounds like a show that is going to be fantastic. It's definitely sounds a unique show, and I think in wrestling, you just need something different, because there's so many promotions now that I think focus on the in-ring product and maybe not so much on storylines. And I think we need more storyline-based wrestling, because that historically that has been the most successful. So
yeah, it's where your investment comes. You're going to be invested in a story. You're going to be invested in an individual. We've got some things that you may not even know is happening, but it's happening in front of you. That's the type of stuff we're trying to do here. And and then there'll be stuff that's very in your face, and we just want to be different. I love MMA based wrestling. I love your New Japan, your All Japan, it's that type of thing. I love all that, but again, everybody can do those, and we need to be different, like you say. And I did this. I thought of this when I first started WrestleGate, and people asked me why I wasn't bringing in like NXT caliber talent and things like this, and people that you see regularly are Progress or Rev Pro. And I always sort of the situation, if you go into a Tesco's, would you buy a Tesco's own brand Coke, or would you buy a Pepsi or Coca-Cola? You're going to buy a brand that So why would someone choose to come to my show over a Progress, where you can see the same talent, where you know and trust these people? So for me, I try and think of it this way again, is look at what everybody else is doing, try and do something different, but again, use talent that has all of those things in place that are on the cusp of breaking through, and then working with them and hoping to see them flourish and go on to bigger and better things. So they're the ideas. Hopefully when Mr. Johnson allows me to put those ideas into place, I can do it. It's frustrating. Yesterday was a bit of a Debbie Downer for everybody, I guess. Certainly not going to put anybody at jeopardy, just for entertainment purposes at the moment.
Are we expecting a World Championship belt in the first show?
No, not the first show. We will build towards that. I think that building, again, story, we're going to build you a story throughout from the first show all the way to the end to see what happens. There won't be any belts immediately. There may be some trophies and things. So our Ringmasters Challenge will end with a trophy. And yeah, we will obviously have world champions or champions and tag teams and things like that, but we will build our way towards that with stories.
So is there when the show eventually does happen, what was the plan for where it's going to be viewed? Is it a YouTube or?
So we've got a couple of ideas. One I haven't released yet. I'm not going to do it just yet because it's kind of pointless of announcing things when I can't really give you dates and stuff. We are looking at a platform like YouTube to do something on. So yes, you will see something like that. Shows will just be in our normal venues up there in the country. Potentially we may go onto a streaming site that is paid for that you can view, or we may just go onto our own. Not sure on. I've got a few people offering and options at the moment. I'm still toing and throwing between a live stream and not, or maybe doing like RevPro pre-recording and then putting it onto like a Fighter TV for argument's sake. But yeah, it'll be come into the venue, watch, and then we will have the events viewable somewhere online. Not completely signed off on where that's going to be at the moment.
Okay. Well, at the moment, since we aren't sure on event when the date of the show, I'm assuming, where can we keep up to date with everything that's going on with WrestleCarnival on social media?
We're on, all social media, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn. LinkedIn, we're on that, but there's no point following on that. Don't put anything on it. Twitter, Instagram is all at WrestleCarnival. Our website is www.thewrestlecarnival.com. That's the official one. So you'll find all of our stuff on there. I try and put as much stuff up as I can. Obviously, being that we don't have any shows or haven't done any shows, it's quite difficult to keep as much content going out. But we're trying to do some things where we've kind of signed off on something this morning that we're going to do to keep some content going out, which will be good for sort of media people and fans alike as well. So, and then hopefully, depending on sort of local councils and other things, we may do a show, or we may completely wait until our planned show in January, on the 31st of January, which is what we've kind of in a way teased and announced. But depending on where we are situation wise, we might do something sooner, we may do something a lot later. So it's really difficult for everybody involved, unfortunately.
One thing as well I just thought there was something like WrestleCarnival, the merchandise that you can sell for something like WrestleCarnival will be incredible, because the bright coloured t-shirts and just costumes perhaps, and there's so much you can do there.
Yeah, it's great. I love merchandise myself. I love doing all those sort of graphics and doing all different things. We have some t-shirts available, and like you say, different colours. We did a t-shirt giveaway recently. Charlie, he won a blue top with the logo on. I didn't tell him it was blue because I wanted to see his reaction. And the first thing he private messaged me was, I was so happy to see something that wasn't black, which is great. But yeah, we've got, various different coloured tops you can get, mugs, pillows, and all sorts with Wrestle Merch Central. They're doing a lot of our merchandising. But yeah, we can do loads of things. And I really hope that when you come into the shows, we'll have some unique things in there. I've had an idea on a few things, like a popcorn, having your own popcorn, whatever you hold them in. What are they called that you hold the popcorn in? Box. I don't know. Yeah. But a popcorn box with our logo on it, just or sweets, or just random things that we can put out for fans. I'm a big streamer person. I love Japanese wrestling, so please bring streamers to the show and just absolutely cover it. And when it's safe to do so. I don't know if we're going to be able to throw things like that in COVID. I'm not too sure, but we want to do as much different crazy merchandise, and as you say, we can go colourful. We can do all sorts, and you never know. Around sort of Halloween time, we might get a bit dark and a bit mysteriously carnival-y, you know. So there's the possibilities are endless, and that's the great thing about it. We can go anywhere, and you can kind of think, it kind of still sticks with the brand, you know, it still works.
I'm very excited for this show. Well, the group of shows.
Yeah, so we got 6 planned, 6 are kind of booked, to be honest, and a couple of sort of special events as well on top of that. But I'm excited too. One member of my team has to keep trying to tell me to stop doing things and to stop wanting to put a show on like tomorrow, because I just talk about it and I get these crazy ideas in my head. And but when you sort of sit down and think about it, you know, the situation we're all in at the moment, it's really risky, and there's just so many things that could go wrong, and I just I'm very, very hesitant to pull the trigger on stuff prior, certainly on what happened yesterday with the government. So I'm excited. I wish we could do it now. It's weird. It's only my second year as a promoter, and I've only been on one show this year, so it's very odd. I seem to be doing a lot more of other things, so it's the name is out there, and you know, in terms of the promotion, so that's the most important thing.
Sure. I mean, as I say, I do hope that fans will be in the crowd, because that will be an experience for all of them. But yeah, well, that's all I've got really for today, Gary. So thank you very much for joining me today.
No, your pleasure. Thanks for having me.
And well, hopefully we'll see you in the near future.
Yeah, I hope so.